Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for PowerBookII, Ghost Season 3, Episode 2, Need versus Greed. So Lauren wakes up in the hospital. And let me preface by saying, I feel like everybody who thought Effie was the CI, we all wrong. We all wrong. Let's just start there. We were wrong, so we stand corrected. It is not her. She up to something? It's just not that. Anyway, Lauren wakes up in the hospital, and we see what really happened to her. She was knocked unconscious, then driven out of the city and pushed into the reservoir. And we see Effie carrying this whole entire thing out. So she did think that, or should I say, she thinks that she, did the deed and that the deed is done, but it wasn't. It wasn't. There was this man walking his dog. Now, see, she should know. Be smart enough to at least stick around and lurk in the area and make sure the car goes down under the water. She just pushed in there and was like, all right, I'm gonna get on out of here. No, girl, lurk from the bushes. Make sure that car was under the water. But she didn't do that. And so a man he was walking his dog, and he saw the car going into the water, and he called 911. When she wakes up, she's in her family's house, and of course she wants to see her parents, and she wants a phone call at least, and they're like, nah, girl, everybody thinks that you are deceased, and you have to stay that way. And annoying DA lady says she got to build her case before she reveals the truth to anybody, because the only people that know are her and the doctor. So nobody else knows that she's still alive. Lauren want to know what kind of case you trying to build. She like, what case? Because I told you who did it. I told you that it was Effie. Effie tried to kill me. And you so you don't have a case. You can just go arrest her. Annoying DA lady say that she don't have the evidence that she needs. She needs hard evidence to go on, and she doesn't have any. And so she gonna, okay, and so I need your help. Lauren like, girl, nah, bitch, no. Every time you say that, my life ends up more, in a more worse state. She's like, it's gotten exponentially fucked up. Those were her exact words. Annoying DA lady, she stops her from leaving, and she's like, listen, winning this case, the only way that we're going to win is if you cooperate with us, is if you help us. It's the only way to get your life back, And she says that Effie isn't working alone, and that they're dealing with a much bigger operation. And Lauren is like, okay, yeah, she was working with Brayden. And annoying DA lady is like, nah, it's bigger than that. It don't have nothing to do with that. It's above Brayden. And she walks up to her and shows her a file of Tariq, because, she got her sights on Tariq. And Lauren is like, I don't have any proof that he's doing anything. I don't have any proof that he was working with Brayden. And clearly neither do you. And she gives her the file back. Annoying DA lady says the fact that they all think that they got away with this is going to work out in their favor. It's the only thing that's keeping her family safe right now. And she just walk away. She like, girl, I don't trust you. Flunky, he's still babysitting the tiresome Americans. He's so tired of us Americans. Noma get the jet set, I guess. I don't know. Kane is like, yeah, good to see you too. He tells both Kane and Tariq that, they're just going to squander this opportunity, and he can't wait until he can kill both of them. And Tariq is like, well, it's apparent that Noma don't care nothing about your little opinion, because we here doing this. She gave the approval, and so it is what it is. And he gonna look at Tariq and say, I'll particularly enjoy shooting you once this is over, when you fail. And he gonna walk away talking about idiot in his native tongue like an old punk ass, because you could have just said it, in English. Say it with your chest, Mr. Flunky Man, sir. Anyway, Kane hired some folk to help them move the product. He's just over there skinning and grinning at Effie, and she always rolling her eyes. She just be like, respectfully, Just respectfully. If it's gonna be Kane or Tariq, why the hell you ain't choosing Kane? Isn't it a no-brainer? Like, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, I would much rather want to be rolling around with Kane than I would with Tariq. Tariq ain't even got no damn car. Y'all walking everywhere. Y'all walking everywhere. Girl. You sleep, Effie. Anyway, she rolling her eyes and everything, and she says she got class in an hour. Can we hurry this up? Braden also has to get back to the office. While Drew and Lorenzo, they expand the footprint for the operation. Kane said he gonna have the people that he brought and then some out in the streets. Effie and Tariq, they gonna hit up all the Ivy League schools. And Stansfield is off limits. He makes sure to specify that we ain't doing nothing at Stansfield. It's too hot. We're not doing that. So don't be selling at Stansfield. Braden thinks, well, he's going to take the country clubs. But Effie is like, because Braden is like, okay, let's do the country clubs. The alumni clubs, and Effie chimes in talking about basically everywhere where rich white folks, get to do what we're doing, but don't get locked up. So again, she's in a mood. I don't know what her problem is, but she's very, snappy. Braden says that they're missing out on the market. Braden thinks that they should, sell at his job. He know all the cokeheads at the job. And he's like, we can absolutely sell to them. Absolutely. With the traders at Weston and Holdings, they would eat that shit up. And Tariq is like, absolutely not. We're not selling drugs anywhere near where your name is on the door. We're not doing that. Effie, I don't know what's up with her, but again, she's looking very suspect. Something is up with her. She look over at the folks and she's like, y'all, you trust them? You trust the folk that you brought? And Kane like, I mean, yeah, what would happen if I didn't? He's intrigued. You don't go over there and shoot him up, beat him up. He want to know, She just grab her stuff and leave. Girl, okay. I just don't know what you got going on, but okay. Tariq and Braden, they talk outside. Everybody's packing up the car. Braden's still trying to convince him to do business with the traders at the office. And Tariq is like, listen, we're not doing that. If I got to hear that one more time. It's no. We're not doing that. It's not worth the risk. And Braden is like, there is no risk. He like, for you. Notice how you admitted to being a whole drug dealer in open court, and you got a 6-figure salary job right now. I didn't do that, and I'm still picking up the pieces of my life. Still trying to, do damage control. That's what's happening over here. So no. Now Braden like, oh, I'm sorry, man. You're right. Braden. But sometimes the privileged don't even realize that they're privileged. He don't have housing. Well, he did have housing. Yeah, he has housing now. He asked him if he has housing. He does have housing now. He said Tate hooked him up with a position on the campaign. And Braden's like, how's that going to work, for your image, because isn't he kind of shady? Isn't he dirty? And he's like, yeah, but he a good kind of dirty. Effie, she's packing up the car. And she's getting ready to make the drive to Princeton, and Tariq offers to go with her. And again, she has an attitude. Oh, no, I go by myself. I just think I'll get the work done faster if I go on my own. And Tariq notices her attitude, And then she mentions Braden's comments, because Braden was over there talking about splurging on cars, on Lambos, on this and on that. And she's like, some of us, basically some of us have to do it. And Tariq is like, some of us have to do it. Like, it's not like we're doing this for fun, to spend frivolous money. Like, the money that she earns, she has to put it into her tuitions, because her student loans are incurring interest as we speak. Girl, cry me a river. Like, you the only round there with a student loan to pay back. You don't get to be a bitch to your man because you got to pay student loans back. Do you know what he's dealing with? He gonna die if he don't sell all these drugs. You wasn't in there when Noma had her gun up to their head. You wasn't there. And so I am not doing this for fun. I have to do it too. I don't like Effie. Anyway, Davis Finance, Method Man Finance, drops in on Monet. And he has the investigation file that she wanted. He says that there's a lot going on, but there are no leads. Zeke was killed on the same night as his father in his father's hangar. So they're looking into the possibility that they were targeted by the same doer. Monet is like, so who do you think that was? And he says, well, your guess is as good as theirs. They logged a few shell casings. There are no witnesses. Monet is like, listen, that ain't enough, and I'm going to need you to do more. He tells her that the whole NYPD, case file is right here in your hands. That's really all that there is. There's nothing left for me to find. And Monet stands up and listen, it's time for you to earn your money. You round here pussyfooting around, find out who killed my boy. And she won't rest until she finds out who killed her son. Lorenzo standing over there in the corner with his drink lurking, listening, guilty as sin. Guilty. Sex. His tech head ass. He over there with annoying DA lady. She got all her evidence laid out on the bed or whatever, and Sachs is asking her about her whereabouts, the night before, because he tried to reach her and then he couldn't. She says that she was at the office working and, she was waiting for her CI. And she looks over at him, waiting on my CI to get me something that I could actually use. And Sachs going to say, listen, I'm working on it. So Sachs is the CI. I'm like, girl, that's who you calling your CI? Sachs? You got to be kidding me, annoying DA lady. Y'all got to be kidding me. It's not Effie. It's Effie. It's Effie and Sax. It's Effie and Sax, because ain't no way. Anyway, Sax asks if she had any luck, getting an unredacted version of the Rollins file. And she says it's more complicated than it seems. Pulling a file, like that just out of nowhere might put a microscope over her. And she doesn't need any distractions from getting this little RICO task force off the ground. And Sax is like, RICO? It's a little soon for that, right? And she says, isn't it a little early to be showing up at my house unannounced? Because don't be popping up over here. She says, I wouldn't even be here if I wasn't looking for a particular file. And she does find it. And she's like, listen, your little Nancy Drew game, it's really not getting us nowhere. Okay. And the task force will get us exactly where we need to go. And so I need the resources to cast a wider net. Sachs tells her that Tariq is a lot of things, but pinning an entire drug organization on a 19-year-old college student, girl, that's going to be a tough one to sell. And she says he's not some kid. Look at who his parents are. He's been groomed for this. He know what to do. He true to this. And that was very racist. Then, cause she gonna ask, would you be confused LeBron's son can dunk a basketball? He was like, wait a minute, girl, that's racist. And it is. Why would you assume? I mean, jeans are jeans, but then there are also interests, and some people just ain't interested in the same thing. They don't all play basketball, bitch. Anyway, she goes back into manipulation. Sex, I thought you was a man. I need a big, strong man to help me with this case. I need you to get all the information that you said you was going to get me. Like, you've got me nowhere. You said you could deliver, Show me you're the man I thought you were. Girl, get out. Anyway, Kiki, she's sick of babysitting the privileged white boys. They sleep on the job, because all they do is binge, doing drugs and party at the strip club. She's reprimanding this one. She's reprimanding one of them, and he sit up talking about, okay, Omarosa. She turned around like, excuse me. Brayden jumps in, in her defense, and he like, listen, you need me to go to HR. Kiki like, listen, it's not that serious. Not over him. Interns are a dime a dozen. He'll be gone tomorrow probably. She says she just hates working with the trust fund, interns, messing with her coin, because they ain't got to really work hard. And she asked him, she got to check in, I guess, a little bit just to see what team he on. And she gonna ask him, do you think that we should make America great again? And Braden is like, hell no. And so now she approves. She approves now. Tate is moving into his campaign office. The what's his name? Steve Knox, I think that's his name, the head of DNC. He coming there telling him his numbers are trash. Listen, you're gonna have to start firing off some heads. Tate says in order to do that, I need resources. And Tate is like, listen, Rick Sweeney ain't really go off the grid like we thought he was gonna go off the grid. He over here funneling donors to the competition. And the DNC says, well, yeah, you might need some new young faces around here, Might need to hire somebody else around here. And Tate's like, I just hired somebody today. Don't even worry about it. He says, and also the fact that you don't have a wife, I'm going to need you to go ahead and take care of that. And not that little intern girl that you've been fucking walking around town in a midriff top. Not her. Anyway, it's time for class. And Professor Harper Monica Brooks Bennett, she's opening up class with today's topic. You know this is my favorite part. Need versus greed. What is the lie, between need versus greed? And Keisha and her arch nemesis, they finally agree on something for once, Making sure that you have the necessities that you need for you and your family is not being greedy. You need those things. Tariq says that life is kill or be killed, And while the rest of the class is discussing the topic, Effie looks over there at Diana, and she notices that she doesn't have books, and she's like, you can read the books if you need them, And she says, girl, I already read the books before we got to class. I was reading over the summer because these books is too expensive. And is if you ain't got no daggone credit at the bookstore, you can forget it. You're going to be going to the bookstore around the corner that sell the used ones, which you should probably be doing anyway. Like, why buy them brand new? Buy them used. Folks done wrote notes in them. It's lived. It has history. Anyway, some of the books you have to buy brand new, though, because they be doing new editions, and your professor be like, oh, not that one. You have to get this edition. Y'all, pay for it then. Let's do the old one from 2007. Let's do that one. Anyway, I really went on a book credit college book tangent because they are expensive. Effie tells her, I've been there before, but she hears that the TAs sometimes have extra books that students can use. They both look over there. Salim was already eyeing her. Okay, Salim, Ashe. So the boy that gave the douchebag that gave Kiki problems, he get to work thinking it's all fun and games, and IT and the bosses are at his desk. They done found some shit on his computer. They're like, go ahead and collect your things. He demands. He's like, I want to see what you accusing me of, And they show him all the alt-right propaganda that he has in his desk and on his computer, and of course he's denying it all. But they have we have a no tolerance policy for this bullshit. You're gonna need to leave immediately. And Braden, and Kiki over there, getting a good laugh. Kiki's so turned on by the situation because she's like, was that you? Braden like, yeah, got you, girl. They go, she take him into the elevator. They kissing and everything. They go up to a private floor, one of many. Ain't no telling what goes down on the private floors. But that's the only one she got a key to. And they go on the private floor and smash. Go y'all. I didn't think it was going to happen this fast, but I mean, hey. Tariq, he gets to the campaign office, and light-skinned Keisha sitting at the desk that Tate promised him. And she like, listen, because he like, why are you here? Oh, why am I here? Like, I got the job. I got hired. What you mean why I'm here? Tate come out there talking about Tariq, brother Tariq. There's been a change of plans. He walking Tariq to the door, just don't really turn him around, walking him to the door. And he's like, listen, your black ass is hot as fuck right now. I just can't have that near my campaign. Just can't. Tariq's like, you would throw me under the bus for some campaign dollars? Tate says, you're goddamn right. You're goddamn right, of course. Tarika's like, so what about the course credit? You know, I was supposed to get that. And he's like, listen, you're a St. Patrick. You are resourceful. You'll figure it out. Kane, he's talking to Lorenzo, telling him the plan. You know, he's headed out to go move some product. And Lorenzo's like, listen, I'm not working with Noma. I done told you that. Or anybody associated with Mecadante. And Kane is like, did Drew talk to you? And he like, Lorenzo say, Drew ain't talked to me because he know better. He know I ain't doing that. He heard what I said. And Kane is like, nah, he too preoccupied with Everett. That's why he ain't said nothing. Did he tell you that he was back talking to him? And Kane goes on to tell him, you know, that Everett was with Drew the night that what's the boys? That Mecca's boys jumped him. And then he brought him around the penthouse and everything. Like, he just really snitching on Drew. And Lorenzo really doesn't care. He really doesn't care. He get on the phone and calls Drew, but Drew doesn't answer. And he's like, see, I'm trying to tell you, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. And Lorenzo is like, so you ready? So I should choose you? Listen, I ain't forgot about what you did. I ain't forgot about you around there, you and Mecadante trying to kill me. I ain't forgot. I did not forget. You was disloyal. You know, that was some bullshit. I'll deal with Drew. You let me deal with Drew however I want to deal with Drew. If there's anybody that needs to earn my trust, it's you. And then he tells him that, you know, there's one way that he can do it. Find out who killed Zeke for your mama and everybody. I'm like, you really think that Kane is stupid or something? Like, he won't figure it out. Anyway, Drew and Everett, they're packing up Everett's room because he headed to OKC to be in the NBA. And he wants Drew to visit. You know, he's like, you can come visit. And I want you to come to my signing party. Be my +1. And Drew is like, as your date? He's like, nah, I ain't doing all that. Everett is selfish. I'm just going to flat out and say it. Everett is selfish. It's all about Everett and what he want. All this. I'm doing it as fast as I can at my pace. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm not finna play around. Anybody finna play that game with you? Because you want to be the closeted NBA superstar. No, absolutely not. There are gay basketball players, football players. They're coming out in droves, as you know, in this day and age. And so you can't use that excuse anymore. I don't want to hear that. Just want to keep him a secret, and that's just not okay. What is it really about? The fact that he's a Tejada? Anyway, he talking about some, you know, the world, the role you play in my life. I'm just not ready to show the world that. Get out of here. Please. You still want him to be your little secret. Then he say, yeah, like I said, he moving at the pace he can. You know, don't be greedy. And Drew is like, what? Do you know what I'm going through over here? The fact that my family don't even want this. You know, like, I'm getting so much slack. And Everett is like, so this ain't about your family. You know, this is about me. This is a moment for me. Because it's about Everett. With selfish ass. Just be supportive. Can you just show up and be supportive? And of course, Drew, he folds. Detective Nina Moreno. She dropped by to visit. It's not really, that's Detective Nina Moreno from New York Undercover. If you know, you know. But anyway, she drives by to visit Lorenzo. You know, she's returning the favor because, you know, after her man Frank died, Monet was there for her. So she come over there and, you know, she tells her, she's there to see her. You know, they exchange words or whatever. And she tells her that there's a white cop snooping around asking questions about her deceased husband Frank. His name is Detective Whitman. And it rings bells because Monet is like, not that motherfucker again. She go in her purse, you know, thank you for the intel. And she's like, your money's no good here. I owe you, remember? And so she pull out a wad of cash and tries to give it to Monet. She got to put it on the table because Monet is, you know, her pride. Her pride won't let her do it, I guess. I don't know. But she dropped that little nugget. Tariq, he back in the room with Effie and Brayden. He's sharing with them that he lost an internship with Tate. Brayden tells him that an internship just opened up at Weston and Holdings. And Tariq is like, so we can move product. Listen, ask me again about moving product. And he says there are more important things than money and drugs, you know, and that's family. And of course, Effie is like, we're your family now. You know, he thinks that he should apply. She thinks that he should apply. You know, it might change the narrative and everything. And Brayden is like, my uncle, the cool one, of course, would be a great reference. And Tariq, of course, is nice. It's wearing him down. And he's like, you know, maybe. But what about Papa Weston? He don't want me nowhere around there. And Brayden says that he'll handle it. Tariq says, fine, but no drugs. He gonna leave. He leaves, you know, to go handle some business. And when he leaves, Brayden tells Effie, listen, we got to tell him about Lauren. And Effie's like, we taking that one to the grave. Only 2 people know what happened that night. And we taking that one to the grave. Kane and he got Mecha Dante's pilots. He got a pilot and somebody else, or it's both his pilots. I don't know, but he got his people tied to some chairs questioning them about the night Zeke was killed. They're, of course, saying that they don't know anything. Kane torturing the man, burning his hands, you know, with a blowtorch. And then the man says that he only saw the person from the back. There was bald head, black coat, big old ass gold zip on the coat. The other guy says that he didn't see anything either. He swears. And so, of course, Kane got to take the torch and he puts it up to his ear and burns him a little bit. And then now he remembers. Oh, I remember the getaway car. He said it had a busted tail light. And so, you know, they gave him the information that he needed. Of course, he say thank you, and of course he kills him. We don't see it, but that's I'm sure he don't let them live because he, you know, thank you with the knife, you know, whipping out the knife. Brayden, he's walking Tariq through, you know, the duties and responsibilities of his new internship at Weston and Holden's. Out of nowhere, his dad yelling from upstairs, Brayden Jefferson Weston, upstairs, family meeting. Yeah. Papa Weston want to know, why the fuck is Tariq St. Patrick in my place of business? And he look over at his brother. I know you had something to do with it. He's like, listen, Tariq is qualified. I don't see no problem with him being here. He needed an internship, so I gave it to him. And Brayden is like, he's not a child. You know, you can't tell me who to be friends with and all of that. And Papa is like, having Tariq St. Patrick here is not good for business. And Brayden says, why? No good for business or no good for the bottom line? And I'm like, that's kind of both, Brayden. But anyway, Papa Weston is adamant, you know, that Tariq shouldn't be there. But Brayden pushes back and he's like, yeah, I was the one selling the drugs. You cannot punish him for some stuff that I did. And he's like, you don't want to be the racist. You don't want it to look like you're racist. And his brother chimes in and adds his 2 cents, you know, saying you can't fire a young black man for something Brayden did. We're absolutely not doing that. Trace, because his daddy, you know, didn't win the fight. Because Trace is all for Tariq being fired. Trace talking about, really, Dad? Are we going to close for Juneteenth too? You should. Let Kiki get the day off for Juneteenth. Effie, she in her room cutting up the cocaine. And she's wrapping it up or whatever for each respective Ivy League school. And she got one labeled out for Stansfield. So you just gonna do the opposite of what Tariq asked. You're just gonna do what you want. Okay. Diana, she dropped by Salim's office to get, you know, to ask him about borrowing books for class. Of course, he gives it to her. He's like, but how can you afford a Balenciaga book bag, but you can't afford the books to go inside? And she's like, well, my parents paying my tuition and I'm on my own for my books and room and board and everything else I need. Basically, she's trying to act like she poor. Well, since when? What? Y'all ain't, excuse me, what? When did Diana Monet and them all them, when they get poor? When did it happen? Anyway, maybe she's supposed to be giving that off while she over there on campus. She's supposed to give, you know, modest and like her family's not really a whole drug operation. I don't know. He tells her that he might have an opportunity for her to make some extra cash. And, you know, of course, she jumps on the opportunity. Monet, she out driving. And she get pulled over by an unmarked car. It's tackhead ass Whitman. And he's supposed to be at his damn desk out pulling people over. Monet cusses him out because why the fuck you pulling me over? What do you want? And he gonna say, if you'll shut the fuck up, I'm asking the damn questions today. I said, who you talking to? And he asked her about her whereabouts during Carrie's murder. She's like, that's none of your business. And he's like, oh, it would have been none of my business if I ain't come across, Z Cross telling me that you was around there. Z Cross came telling me that you were involved. And so, yeah, it wasn't a suicide. And he tells her that there's a traffic camera picture with her in the picture, with her near the scene. And he get cute, talking about what he has and what he's gonna get, and basically what he's gonna find out, and I'm going after you and your family, all of that. He was just really going in. And she tell him, get the fuck back, off my car so I can go. And before he leave, he elbows her side mirror off. So you destroying property now. She was supposed to shoot his ass. Shoot his ass dead on the curb right there. And pull the fuck off. Anyway, David, Method Man Finance, he at the office. And he get a call from Monet about that detective harassing her. He immediately yells for Sax, to get on in here. Bring that ass in here. And he asks, if his annoying DA girlfriend is working with Detective Tackhead ass Whitman. And he says he'll find out what's going on. So Davis, he double checks, about his brother's case. And Sax say he's still working on it. No, do it now. Get on it right now. Sax leaves. And of course he calls annoying DA lady and asks if she ever found out who was watching the penthouse. She over there looking over her shoulder because she got her whole board set up. She's still, working on everything, unbeknownst to him. And she says, she lies and tells him no. He tells her to look into Kevin Whitman because he's still around there harassing folks. He's supposed to be at his damn desk. Braden, he's at work and he notices, all the cokeheads, they're headed to the boardroom to do cocaine before the meeting. And Braden messages Kiki and tells her, shouldn't Tariq be prepping for the meeting? And she texts back, oh yeah, I forgot the interns could actually do work. And so, Braden, he knows that Tariq is going to walk in on them doing cocaine. It's going to, pique his interest a little bit. He needs them to see it. Trace and the rest of the a-holes, they're on they're I don't even know. It's this lunch hour. I don't know, but they at the strip club. Everybody's at the strip club using the cocaine, like it's going out of style. Poor Kiki still in there, got to babysit the folk. And Braden and Tariq, they're discussing, what's happening, discussing the situation. The office dealer is the fitness coach, Nick. He leaves protein powder for the people, in their locker rooms. In their lockers. And the more Braden keeps talking, the more intriguing it sounds. They might have to move product at Weston and Holdings. Braden, he say, I done already sold 2 bricks at the country club. Tariq like, 2? He doing the math, they got to figure out how to get the system out of Nick's hands. How can we take the whole system from Nick? Things just can't get messy. And Braden says he has an idea, but he's going to need Kane's help. He always trying to use Kane for the muscle. Drew, he get jumped on the street while he walking home. Or no, he was headed to the signing party. The dude knock him out over Lil Guap, and then spray paints on his stomach, spray paints their tag on him, then spits on him and leaves him there. When Drew gets home, of course, Monet is nursing him back to health, and Lorenzo want to know, why was you over there on that part of town, in that part of town? And then Kane blurts out, why he was over there. He was over there about to be fast tail. Drew just leaves the room, and Kane can't wait to say, I told you so. Lorenzo tries to use this situation, like a scapegoat. Maybe whoever did this is the same person that killed Zeke. Maybe they got the Zeke too. And so Kane is like, nah, I don't know about that. He's not so sure. Lorenzo says that he is sure. It has to be him. And so he tells him to go track the nigga down, and make it right for Drew. And I don't know about Lorenzo using N-words just willy-nilly. But, okay. You ain't black. Your kid's black. You ain't black. Did he say nigga? He might have said motherfucker. I don't know. Let me not throw that on him. But I feel like I done heard him say it. I'm gonna pay attention for real now. Anyway, Kane looks over at this box on the table or on the chair, wherever it was. It was a box full of Zeke's things. He looks at it and his wheels look like they turning. You figuring it out? You figuring it out, Kane? Salim, he's showing Diane her new place of employment. And I feel like, I don't know, the actor just, I don't know. Let me just keep moving. She'll be working at the school bookstore. And she texts Effie, thank you, for looking out. While she, when Effie is getting this text, she's with Tariq. They're walking to class and, she fine with being near him now. Diana, she say, I guess now that Diana is at the school too. They happen to walk in the bookstore and Diana sees them and she goes and hides. And she looking like she over there in her bag because she's seeing Tariq, be happy with Effie. And Tariq gets a text from Nick telling him that his personal training session, has been confirmed. And then Tariq texts Kane and is like, listen, I'm gonna need you. Are you still good for tonight? Kane doesn't respond though. Brayden, he meets with Rashad Tate. And so then we find out that he paid, that he asked for Tate to, fire Tariq. So he paying a generous donation to the campaign. Brayden done manipulated this whole thing. He needed Tariq to see for himself how easy it would be, I guess, to move product at Weston and Holden's. And so Brayden is like, let's keep this between us. He say, yeah, I just hope my young brother falls on his feet. He's like, he already has. Anyway, annoying DA lady, she looking over the case again. Tight-lipped detective. She comes in with bad news. She said her boss is not green light no Rico task force. We don't have enough evidence. They gonna need connections, like real connections. How does Tariq know Detective Ramirez? What's the connection with Mecadante? Is that where the drugs are coming from? So who's his connect, Detective head ass Whitman comes in. And she want to know why he's harassing Monet Tejada. And he says, with all due respect, you're not my boss. You're not my supervisor. She says, would you like me to have a chat with your supervisor? And he says, well, maybe you should just listen to what I know. And so he explains to them how Monet is at the head of all of this and may be working with Tariq. And so now they're intrigued. Now they're like, wait a minute, this might give us a little something for a task force. Kane, he finds the rest of the guap niggas, shooting up everybody and then drags out the one who jumped Drew. Drew, he's waiting for Everett, at the dorm room, and Everett comes in there mad, like, listen, leave me alone, it's over. Talking about, oh, it's over, I thought y'all ain't have titles. Now it's over. You wanted your man beside you, but you don't want him to be your man. No, Everett, no. You can't have it both ways. You can't be this upset. You're selfish, and you can just go. I'm glad you got your little NBA signing contract deal. Good for you. Bye. He don't even care. Drew, like, you don't see my face? I don't care what happened to you. What else is new? You always getting beat up, getting jumped. What else is new? I don't need this drama in my life. And he like, excuse me, what? Drew follows him upstairs, apologizing and begging and carrying on. And Everett's just push him off him like, don't follow me. Leave me alone. Drew gets a text from Tariq saying that they're going to be meeting downtown. They can't reach Kane, so they're going to need him. He get that evil look in his eye. He ready to go kill somebody. I thought he was going to push his man off the banister. I was like, Drew, now don't become unhinged right here on the stairs, on the staircase. Please don't push this boy off the thing. I really thought that's what he was gonna do, and then he was gonna fuck up his leg, and it wasn't gonna be no damn NBA. I thought that's what was about to happen. Anyway, Tariq, he finishes his session with Nick, And they walk out, and when Nick walks out, Drew is already standing there lying in wait, and he follows him. He follows him, pushes him off the curb into oncoming traffic. Poor Nick just ran over front tire, back tire. As James Caldwell would say. Every time he says it, I get the visual. Anyway, Kane, he got the one that jumped Drew. He has him, tied up. And he tells Lorenzo, this is the one who jumped Drew and killed Zeke. And the dude like, fuck it, the hell I am. I ain't killed nobody. I wasn't even around when Zeke got killed. Now, I did jump Drew, and I was paid to do that. Somebody hired me to do that. Did they now? While he's talking, of course, Lorenzo, he chimes in as soon as he says that, talking about some, don't believe this motherfucker, don't believe him, trying to hit him and everything. And Monet, she want to know, who hired you to jump Drew? And Kane just sitting back looking, noticing. I'm like, he on to Lorenzo's ass. He's on to him. He pull out the chain, that belongs to Drew, and it also has Zeke's championship ring on it. Monet immediately takes out her gun and empties the clip. Take care of this, Sax, nosy ass, he in Davis Method Man's office. And he's snooping around. He looking through drawers and finds a burner phone. He takes a picture of the last contact information. Then he uses the burner phone to call that number back. And Monet answers. And she like, what you calling me for, Davis? Finance, Method Man Finance. I done already figured out what I needed to know about Zeke. And he quickly hangs up the phone. And so I don't know. Monet should have known it wasn't him. She should have known it wasn't him because nobody said anything on it. She said what she said and then got hung up on. So hopefully her wheels are turning. But he hurried up and get on up out of there. Effie, we see she's created her own app, Course Perfect. Girl. Or excuse me, I'm sure we're going to be saying it like Course Perfect. She going over there, she's trying to market to Stansfield again. She got the cursor moving, is she going to publish or not, but she cancels at the last minute. Tariq walks in and he tells her, everything is a go, everything's all set. So the cokeheads, they finish with their workout, they go into their lockers and then they see that there's a new card left inside by a new trainer, Weightlift. And then it's got the little asterisk mark Wall Street. New protein powder available. And they were looking like, the fuck is this? Like, who's on to us, So you're raising red flags with the folk instead of intriguing them, with the fact that there's somebody else, in business. No, they was looking like abort mission. Kane and Lorenzo, they moving the body. And he talking about some, well, now that this is all done, we can just move on. And Kane is like, yeah, I see you got your tail light fixed. And Lorenzo says, yeah, a while back. You good, Kane? Kane says, yeah, because I know you killed Zeke. And Lorenzo says, what the fuck you talking about? What you mean? And he said, we just loaded up Zeke's killer. Kane says, Monet might have believed and bought that shit, old man, but I didn't. I ain't buy none of that. Kane runs down his whole thought process over the past few weeks about everything. He's like, you was tasked with finding out who killed Zeke months ago. And I done found out in a couple of days. I done found the pilots in a couple of days. And he also says that Zeke never wore that championship ring. So no way would it have been on him when he was killed. And he said it was, but really it was a look on your face when that motherfucker said that he was hired. That's what sealed your fate with me. You planted that ring on him. When you went over there to pay him off. How else would he know that Drew killed Lil Guap? Only a family member would have told that. Then he says, I just don't understand why. And Lorenzo says, listen, you got it wrong. It was an accident. You know, it was a mistake. I went round there to kill Mechandante. And Zeke was just there. He was in his car. He was at his hangar. I didn't know. I thought that I was protecting my family. And then he gives Kane a hug. And Kane is like, that's even more stupid and pathetic than I thought. Pushes him off. All this time you saying, I'm not ready for the throne. But you weren't ready for me. He opens the door, you know, pulls out the bag. He says, now that I know the truth, I fucking own you. Now, this weight for Norma, you gonna move it. Now get to it. See you at the house. I loved it. I loved every minute of that scene, Kane. Good job. Good job, Woody the Great. Good job. Anyway, until next time, guys. Be sure to rate. Ooh, and we did it in Oh, wait. This one is 35 minutes because I do have to edit this. I wonder how long my first one is. I ain't trying to do no 50-minute power reviews. We just not doing it. Anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby. And I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.